Hello there, my name is Sammy, and welcome back to my Stream Theory playthrough of Assassin's Creed 4, where I will play the game live while also providing analysis and commentary as I go. So, get right back into the groove of things. Let's see. I don't think there are any missions here, it seems. Starting me off here. Apparently there are no missions. Or I already did it? No, I'm pretty sure I captured this. Yeah, in the last part I captured this fort, and apparently there are no missions on this fort, so no more, naval contracts rather. So, okay, well, I guess I'm all set as far as this fort is concerned then, except for these chests. So I guess to warm up, I will start out by going after these collectibles and treasures. Alright. Let's wait for the stream to catch up so I know what is going on. Always want to make sure I capture, or make sure I am apprised of what's going on with the stream. Make sure the sound doesn't go out. I need to make sure that doesn't happen, so. Okay, there we go. Looks good. One more animus fragment here. They're in there. So, I am approaching the end of the game, pretty sure. Actually, you know what? I'm going to right ahead and drop down this to get on my ship. Approaching the end of the game, and I've been thinking about what that means as far as my playthrough, comparing the game, my thoughts on the game near the beginning to my thoughts on it now, how it's changed, and how the game has changed, or if the game has been changing, or lots of other possibilities. Like, for instance, according to this, there is a side activity, but I'm not seeing it on the map for some reason. Don't remember activating that. Yeah, well, what is up with that? Shouldn't there be a naval thing here? Side activity is 0 out of 1. I'm not seeing it. You know what, I'm going to go over to this island. Maybe I can just go here for now, and then come back. Maybe that'll cause the side quest to reset, reappear. Otherwise, I could probably load out, shut down the game, and then load back in. If I stay around here, then that means my fort will help me out in defeating these hunter ships here. Happy Harry is the name. Yeah, so now that I am towards the end of the game, I can check to make sure some things like, did the game basically show everything it had to offer towards the beginning, and then has just been repeating the same stuff over again. To some extent, I think there is some truth to that. However, there have been some new things, well, that have been interspersed throughout the experience that I've seen, you know, throughout. Most recently, that experience, or the mission with Charles Vane. There we go, that's pretty good. Charles Vane, that was a new type of mission, not just for the game, but for the whole series as well. Pretty cool to see. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and sink it. Alright. Let's try that island now that the hunter ship's out of the way. So it's because I am... This is the first game that I am playing through on stream that I haven't played through before. So it's I haven't. It's my first playthrough of the game. It's my first stream exhibiting a first playthrough. So, you know, prior to this, earlier on, near the beginning of the game, for instance, or even in the middle of the experience, when I was at 50% of the way through, I don't have that big picture view of the game, how it's structured overall. So I can't necessarily make any huge definitive statements about it. I can only say some first impressions about what I'm seeing right now and hope that, okay, things happen later or things don't happen later. Depending on whether I like them or not, obviously. Things I like, I want to see more of. Things I don't like, I want to see it stop. Like, say, the tailing missions. I hope, okay, please no more of these. And then the game would keep throwing them at me anyway. So now that I'm near the end of the game, what I'm trying to say is that I have a much more accurate picture of the whole experience. The only thing that's missing is the absolute, like, very last part of the game, of course, and there is some possibility that the game could still change my mind, although that I would say that possibility is very slim at this point. So, for the most part, my feelings on this game are pretty much set, and playing through the rest of the game is basically a formality at this point. I just want to see the ending and say that I've beaten it, say that I've experienced the whole thing, and say for sure that there's nothing left to experience. Alright, let's go back there, see if there's any side mission here. So there should be a naval contract there. One. I don't know why it didn't appear then, but let's try this again. So I think, and there's a lot to break down here, to bring in, to think about, so it's going to be tough for me to just bring in this topic out of the blue. But it's something I should talk about in these last few parts, especially since I'm essentially running out of things to react to, simply because there's going to be less and less new things to experience in the game, and less to say on those experiences, at least for the time being. I mean, right now I only have my own perspective on the game, and I think that could change and evolve if I was able to, say, read articles about this game or talk to other people about the game and bring in other perspectives. Then I would be able to see it in a new light and comment on it a little bit more. But right now I just have my perspective on it. And as far as my perspective is concerned, why aren't you docking? Oh, there we go. Yeah, you are docking. As far as my perspective is concerned, there's very little new for me to see. Alright, I'm still not seeing any side quests. Usually it's right here, so I am really confused. Where is this thing? Is it somewhere else on the island, or? Normally it's right on the dock, the naval contract. So I am a little confused about this. One thing I could try is, of course, load out the game. Or reload the game, rather. I'm not seeing anything. Hope it shows up. There's this one lone dude, apparently. To the left. Maybe it is somewhere else? I don't know, maybe it's related to this? Can't be true. That has its own set of side quests. So, I think I might have to I'll try reloading the game, and if that doesn't work, then I might have to look up what is the problem, why this is not showing up. So, first things first, let's try quitting. Quit to main menu. See if that fixes anything. Ultimately, I want that to show up, and just get that side quest out of the way, side activity. Then I can get on with that discussion that I mentioned, and try and see if there like broader view takes on this game so far. All right, so yeah, I'm not seeing. Nope, I'm not seeing a side quest anywhere.
Ahoy, Captain.
This is just lower my wanted level, so I don't know. Yeah, let me just move on with the game then. Maybe come back later. Hopefully it shows up. Alright, in that case, I think I will... Let's just finish up this quadrant. Now I will, let's head here to New Bone. And on the way I can discuss what I was trying to discuss. So, now that I have that big picture view of the game, so close to the end, I feel like, my suspicions about the game towards the beginning and towards the middle of the experience were pretty spot on. That being that the story was fairly thin overall, and only just now is the story picking up and becoming a primary motivating factor towards completing the game and making forward progress. The four are near the beginning, I would say. Not necessarily at the beginning, because in order to kick off the game, there has to be some sort of story hook to get things moving, let's say. So I would say maybe the first 2 or 3 hours, there's some pretty good story to get things moving. But then after, say, in order to do this, do I have to literally take down all these ships? Might be the case. Alright, well, I'll give this a shot. Alright, so unexpected combat to work through now. But that's alright, I can do this. After that first 2 to 3 hours, to get the story moving, there is, I would say, a good 5 to 10 hours where there's a lot of story missing. Or not missing, but it is just weak overall. I think that's somewhat on purpose, to the point where it wants you to explore the world around you. It doesn't want to tie you down with too much story, and I think maybe it did that a little too strongly. Still out of range of this, but that's okay, I can mortar it. Okay. Let's see. Let's do a quick boarding to repair. far as the overall rhythm of the story, the way the story is plotted, the way the mission chains are plotted, or the critical path, rather. By that I mean the main mission, or the series of main missions that drives the whole story together. Does not include all of the various side quests, critical path of main missions. Largely, there's that big bit in the beginning. Come on, Castaway. What the heck? There we go. I'm pressing the right button. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to discuss something, but kind of wrapped up in this combat now. Okay, so a few more dudes left. Okay. So what was I trying to say about the story there? It's mostly a recap of what I've already said throughout my whole playthrough. First few hours get you into the story, introduce the main players like the Templars, the Assassins, introduce the Observatory and the Sage, but they do the story in the main missions there regarding that very briefly touch upon those things, and I think that's why I think that the story was fairly weak, especially early on for the first half. And then once it touches upon those things, it kind of, you're done with those. You're done with them. Oh, another. You're done with them for quite a while. And you're basically left to your own devices to explore. So you don't need to board this right now. And for the next, like, see, after the first 2 or 3 hours, then you have just a portion of the game where you are slowly, very slowly progressing through missions and through the critical path, the main story, all that stuff. In the meantime, you are doing a lot of exploration, and this is largely in part because of the structure and the geographical location of those missions in the overall map. Because the missions are placed so far apart, like it is not even being coy about the fact that it wants you to explore the map, try to go through it as much as possible. During that time, during those like 5 to 10 hours of exploration and slow progress through the main mission, that's when there isn't really a whole lot of movement towards the things that the key items and characters that were introduced very early on. So there was just a lot of slow movement through the world and introduction of things like far away. No, I can do it. And just one more dude. Why can't I do this? Want to ignite this? Go away. You just keep distracting me. I can't ignite this thing. Alright, I want to ignite this and finish this up. Alright, I think of what I have to do. I think I just have to. Just shoot it. And too many distractions for my discussion. There we go. Alright. And then, you know, after that period of slow movement of just exploration, about halfway through the game, or maybe even 2/3, I'm not entirely sure.
Get the mainsails into the wind. Hold her in. Ready to fire, sir? We're ready, sir. Blew up. Stands up.
That's when the story picks up. That's when you get back on the trail of the Observatory, the Sage, and the Templars. But yeah, again, it's very slow going.
Look, they fire more.
That's like a very basic overview. Basically, discussing what I've touched upon during those observations, during those my experience with those things, condensing them down into one short overview. So like just the way the game is paced. Alright, let me just do this. Okay, are there any more ships here? There's just that one over there. Seems to be going pretty far away though. Honestly, I just want to get to that island, so I'm just going to, even though this is a man of war, I don't know, it's a man of war, it's too many resources, I can't give it up. If it was a smaller ship, I would just, at this point, I would just destroy it. Outright. Just take those half resources. Not much to get from the deck. It's just too high up. You do it the hard way. Alright, let me think a little bit more about the game overall and how I can discuss it, because I don't think I'm doing it quite, you know, justice it deserves. Just because I'm a little distracted and requires a little bit more thought. Alright, can I ignite this? I just want to ignite this. I want less dudes showing up here. Alright. Ignite. There we go. That's all I want. Why is it so hard to ignite these things? There we go. Captain's over there, I might as well. Okay. Again, these man of warships are really involved. Take a long time to accomplish or to finish up those requirements to finish boarding. Actually, should repair here. I really don't need more of these ships, so I don't feel bad about repairing. Okay, let's head towards the island finally. Should be the last defense. Alright, there's one more there. It's fine. And it's just a frigate. Okay, I think what I just said was kind of a very loose and quick take on the way the game has been structured so far. The way the critical path of missions have been structured. There's just like a 2 to 3 hour introduction of story. After that, the story is basically on hold while you explore the rest of the game, side missions, explore the overall map, and it's very clear based on the design of the mission progress, their placement in the overall map, that unless you use the fast travel, you're going to be doing a lot of sailing. Going basically across the world multiple times, or across the map multiple times, not the world, the overworld rather, and across the map multiple times, back and forth in many occasions. So I think I'd make the argument that yes, it is trying to get you to make that exploration, do a lot of side missions before it does a lot of the story bits. And there's some, I think I discussed that there was some merit to that. There was some, like, the theory behind that made a little bit of sense. Okay, here we go. Because you're a pirate and you're on the seas, and it makes sense that there's going to be a lot of... Wait, I don't know why he's doing that. I don't know, Kenway just wants to dive off sometimes. Makes sense that you're a pirate, and part of being a pirate is that experience of exploring the sea, sailing and doing naval combat, just doing generally what pirates do. Like, he wants to put you in that pirate shoes and not just bog you down with story, but I think it went a little too far with that. So that's basically what I was trying to say earlier on, more succinct manner, that for about 5 to 10 hours there, probably even longer, I don't know, I didn't really track it, it did a little bit too much. Oh, I don't want to synchronize again. So after that portion, story picked back up, Kenway got back on the trail of the observatory. From there, okay, let me see if I can get Kenway to do anything here. I don't know, he's doing nothing, pressing buttons, and he just doesn't want to move. Alright, just want to do this. That's fine. Alright, there's a lot of treasure here. Probably get on with that. And basically, since that point, point where I identified that the story was picking up, it has been the pacing of the main missions in the storytelling has been a lot faster. Like, I can continue to explore if I want to, but the balance between exploration and missions are much better. What I would have liked to see throughout the whole experience, like I would have preferred the type of pacing that I've been seeing for the past several hours or so to have been the whole experience. I would have not preferred that there wasn't that 5 to 10 hour middling experience in between. Alright, I need to hide quickly. Now, as far as mechanics and the way that has been working, I'd say the nautical experience, the star of the show here, and rightfully so. But I think I would have liked to see even more of that, even more of a focus on that, less of a focus on the on-land portion of the game. If the cities were even smaller, if fewer of the main missions took place on land, I think that would have been overall an improvement. More main missions on the sea would have been really cool. Mind me. Somewhere around here. Yeah, there it is.
Hold you.
You have to be so inquisitive sometimes. It's tough to remember everything that the game has done in terms of mission types, introduction of new things over the course of the game. I mean, it's probably related to. There's just the main problem that this is the 7th, depending on how you count it, the 7th entry in the series, and there's very little left to introduce. I mean, besides just the obvious naval stuff. All this stuff is basically new. However, in terms of types of missions regarding stuff on land, the traditional type of Assassin's Creed on-land style of gameplay, which is still very much a part of it. I'd say it's not an insignificant part. Definitely a huge part and something that you can't ignore. So because it's a huge part, I would say there's a certain responsibility of the game to introduce new aspects of that experience too. Besides and not just say okay, all the new stuff is in the naval portion on the sea, and the on-land stuff is basically just a traditional Assassin's Creed experience with nothing new. I think there's still some responsibility of the game to introduce some new things for the whole experience. Now, let's see, how well does it do that? Looking for the key dude here. Somewhere around here, maybe. Oh, he's in that green portion, of course. That's kind of fun. Fun way to just mess everything up.
Intruder! I need some help here!
Table this. As far as yeah, totally new experiences. That's a really tough question. I know that there was some. The Charles Vane mission was pretty new, and there were a lot of new types of missions regarding.
Alarm! Help me,
See.
damn it!
Maybe I should just hide these bodies then. They're just gonna keep attracting too much attention. I would say that for the most part, like even with the naval stuff, most of what was new about it, you experience fairly early on, within like the first 5 to 10 hours of the game, and after that, basically just a repetition of all that stuff. There's a pickup body. So very rarely does the game introduce fully new mission types and objectives to do. Kind of unfortunate. Now that I'm thinking about it, there's very little absolutely new things interspersed throughout the experience. Maybe some of those new, if there were some of the mission types that we saw earlier on up front, some of those were interspersed throughout the experience a little bit better. I think the how do you describe it? The way through the game, the path through the game would have been a little bit more interesting. Alright, that's another Mayan Stella. Either that, or what it could do is it can I think a game like this could introduce a lot of the core mission types, side quests, and various activities up front, like within the first 5 to 10 hours, and that'll be like your tutorial.
Another keystone.
And from then on, you would see variations on those on those themes, on those activities. Not entirely new things. I think that is fine if the experience overall was a little shorter. That makes a little bit of sense. Maybe for what it's trying to do, introducing those core mission types. I can list some of them: the naval contracts, the assassin contracts, the like stuff like this that I'm doing right now, which is the warehouse stuff, the warehouse raiding. Even though those aren't really side missions, those are just like totally optional things for as far as gaining resources. The whole hunter system and approaching that as far as, you know, deciding to either have an easy experience without a wanted level or to knowingly keep a wanted level so that you could keep resources coming to you, like that kind of thing. You learn that stuff early on, and then you just keep repeating those experiences over and over again. Oh, the fort takedowns, of course, the whaling, the hunting. These are all various activities that the game has. And by introducing that stuff up front, I think the game might have been served better by making the experience a little bit shorter, not having so much of that exploratory segment in between. Maybe even cut out that entire portion. That could be one solution, is just to cut that out. Skip that entirely, for instance. That could be one way to do it. Alright, come on, Kenway. Move up, move up, move up. So the pacing of the story and the variety of mission types and the lack of generally introducing new types of missions and side activities over the course of the game. I mean, I think the last genuinely new side activity that was introduced in the game was that diving style mission. That's another mission type that the game has. The diving sequences were the last thing that was introduced. After that, there wasn't really anything new besides stuff that was seen in main missions. There were some new types of ways to approach sailing there. Dude over there. Aha. I guess I'm going after this warehouse. I'm also trying to do these, just do the collectibles as well. Alright. Okay. There's a treasure chest over here somewhere. I can hear it. Get that out of the way. Make sure I'm not spotted. That would be bad. Now, how should I approach this? Should I be a little bit more patient? Perhaps. Wait till he comes this way. You know, one of his routes comes here. So maybe I should collapse everything into a shorter assessment of just the way the game's paced and the overall experience, storytelling, and the mission types. Now that I've kind of worked my way through it. So let's recap the pacing. It's and the storytelling. First 2 hours is the basic introduction. 2 to 3 hours, I think, covers it basically. How do I get that? I have to go up there. Maybe I have to cause a distraction that way. That. Wait, why can't he grab that again? Why can't he go up there? He should be able to grab this. Okay, that makes no sense at all. Sometimes working through this little difficult reason. Come on, Kenway, I don't understand. There we go. I don't know why he's just... Aha, okay. That's how you're supposed to do it. Let's see, are there any bushes here that I can just drop to? There we go. Hide. That could have been bad. Yeah, again, I was trying to make a shorter assessment of that, of what I've been saying up until now. It's a really long and kind of meandering analysis of the story and the missions so far. First 2 hours introduces the story, then followed by 5 to 10 hours or so of the story and the main missions being a sort of back burner importance to the overall experience, and basically wants you to do exploration and side quests for much of it.
To the bush, you crap!
That's how you want it? Fine. Keep getting distracted when I'm trying to make these shorter assessments. See, after that 5 to 10 hours, that's when the story picks back up, and from there on, it's like basically a sprint to the end. The way the missions are placed throughout the map become much more closer together, and they make a little bit more sense in terms of their placement. They aren't so far apart anymore. And the pacing picks up. As far as mission types, most of the mission types, side quests that you do throughout the game you get introduced to that stuff very early on, and then after that you're just doing those same missions over and over again until the end. Very few new ones, like the sea diving, for instance, is one that is introduced later, and you can't get to that stuff earlier on. Okay, so now I'll do the assassin contract. That'll be the last thing on the island. And for my part, I wish I think maybe much of my problems with the pacing of the story, as well as the reputation of mission types, could be handled if that exploratory part, that 5 to 10 hours that I mentioned, where you're mostly exploring and doing side quests, was shortened. Overall, or cut out entirely, because like even when the mission, the story and the main mission pacing picks up, there's still plenty of time to do side missions in between those main missions. Those side activities like exploring these islands, exploring the overall map. The experience does not have to be focused on that exploration and side activities for so long. That is not necessary. That was not a necessary part. At least I don't think. Not necessary for the game to do that. So I kind of wish it would have not done that. It kept up with the main story involving the Observatory, the Templars, and the Sage, and never put that on the back burner. Keep that up. All right. So I guess that is a shorter way of describing my thoughts on the story so far, or the way it's structured, as well as the way missions are handled and side quests interspersed throughout the game, how it makes up the experience. That was a quick sum up, or best as I could do while doing it live. I could probably, of course, anything that I'm talking about now, I could probably do a lot better if I were to stop and think about it, and then make a more formal written article about it. But you know, this is meant to be off the cuff, live, raw analysis. That's the whole point of this series. So it's okay if it's a little messy. All right, so assassin contract, Castaway. Fugitive guilty of many heinous and indiscriminate crimes against innocent civilians is hiding from authorities on a nearby island. Kill him to ensure he never harms anyone again. Okay, nearby island means not on this island, which I kind of dislike. I'd rather it be, or did I actually hit B, didn't I, instead of A? I declined it. There we go. Accept. Or I hit accept on the refuse. A on the refuse. Alright, so now it should show up. Okay, so we're here, and it's over there. Okay, that's kind of far away, especially since you have to go all the way around, and then yeah, that's kind of mean. Alright, maybe what I want to do is finish up whatever I need to do in this quadrant now, because that makes sense. Go after this and this fragment. To this chest here. Maybe not go as far as here, or maybe I don't know. Yeah, I should. There's also a legendary ship here. I'll probably have to do that later. Not quite ready for it yet. And then I can end with that. So, because this is a bit out of the way, I definitely don't want to not pick up that fragment. If I don't pick it up now, then I'll have to go all the way out of my way, pick it up later. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to fight this ship in my way. That worked out pretty well. Man of War. I think what I'm gonna do, just head this way. I'll sink the ship right now. I don't really need to. Don't really need to capture it, I don't think. let's head right in the direction I want to go. I should be able to outrun this man of war, especially if I leave
Their firepower is
fire
high.
barrels.
Keep your distance. Water scanway.
I guess another thing I could talk about now that I'm nearer to the end of the game is whether my thoughts on the game, on the experience overall, has changed and evolved as I grew.
Shorten sail. Get off the squall. Clear off the That's where the Gumball's ready. Just let themselves exposed. Make him back up. Down sword sail. Ready
Let's
to
see.
fire, sir.
Thinking about it, I think it's, well, in general, tied directly to that pacing problems I identified earlier on. Basically, I liked the experience
Douse the royals. Top. That pirate hunters. Further mains. Freeze those galleys.
in the beginning, and then kind of got bored during that exploratory phase because there was just way too much exploration. I was basically constantly complaining about that when that was happening. And, let's see, how do I get this? And then as the story picked up and I was experiencing more of the main mission stuff, it was not really that I was so happy to do the main missions, because you know, I like exploration too, but the fact that there was a better balance between the main missions, side activities, and the exploration, it improved the overall experience in general.
Captain has the helm.
Right now I'm quite liking how the experience is working out. Alright, so there's another whaling mission here. If I really want to go after that special costume, then I would go after it, but I don't necessarily need to do that.
Loose all. Let's. Loose tops and royals.
So I'm liking the experience a whole lot better now that the balance has been achieved.
Away. Down to the tree. Ready to fire, sir.
Because I think what I've always wanted from this type of overworld experience is to be able to choose what I want to do at any given time, and to be in general range of a lot of different options. If in an overworld game, if the geography of missions and side activities around you, the actual placement of those things, reduce your options, then you're still not going to be happy, even though those options are technically there available to you. If they're too far away, if certain options are too far away, then effectively they aren't available to you. So the fact that main missions were so far apart from each other, that meant I was doing more side activities and exploration, and I didn't like that imbalance. But now the story has picked up, main missions are closer together, I can feel a lot better about opting into just exploration, because I know that as I explore this area of the map here, the main mission is just right here. I can get to that really quickly. As opposed to earlier on, where I was, like, say, exploring this area and the main mission was like several quadrants away. Say over here, for instance. Nowhere near the activities that I was currently doing, because each mission would be so far apart. I think the one mission chain was like there was one here, and then the next one was here. The next one was down here. The next one was here, and then all the way back up here. So the fact that they were so far apart caused that problem where I was, yeah, I wanted to do exploration on the way. I wanted to do all the side activities on the way. That meant the journey was really long. And I think I would have liked it if, say, if I was doing missions. Say the last main mission was here. And that meant I was doing any side quests around that area. The next main mission would be somewhat nearby, maybe no more than a few quadrants away. So it would have been okay if it was like main mission was here, thereabouts, or in this quadrant, for instance, as far apart from here. So the ordering of that stuff and their placement could have been improved, but I think, of course, that would have required some rewriting of the story to have those to make sense to have those missions there. If I'm going to talk specifics about the story and why a lot of those missions happened where they were, is because much of the story, many of the missions were around Nassau, and because the Templars and the British Empire specifically targeted Nassau as the pirate stronghold. That's why much of the story happened in Nassau and required you to go back there several times. At least 3 times. Main missions, brought you back there, took you away, and brought you back again. So I guess they were technically, yes, there were story reasons for that, but... Or do I want to check... Let's see, I'm passing right by the... I want to check again if the mission's there, or... I guess I might as well. You can also use their cannons to take down this... Help take down the pirate hunter. So yeah, my wish list as far as the dispersal of mission types and story stuff would require a bit of rewriting. Like, that much is true. Now, let's try again to see if the mission is showing up.
They are off and bring in those royals! Now! Now, all sail! Fall down and crew up! Furl those men! Hey, friend.
Nope, still not seeing any sort of naval contract mission. Don't know what's up, why I can't do the mission. Nothing is showing up. I don't know, is it bugged forever? Does that mean, like, I can't ever finish, ever 100% complete the game because this mission is just not showing up? Yep, naval contract 0 of 1. I don't see any naval contracts here. Level 57. Alright, well, maybe there's a good explanation for that as to why I can't get that naval contract now. I hope there is, and that game is not bugged out. It'd be a real shame to not be able to finish that up, considering how diligently I've been trying to do everything so far. I'm broke. I wonder where the that legendary ship is somewhere over here. I think one thing I've mentioned before about the story, and it's in relation to the missions side activities, is you could use Assassin's Creed 3 as a good counter-example. In that game, I think the narrative dominated the experience way too much. I mean, by narrative, I mean the main narrative, again, the critical path, the main series of story missions. There were so many of them, and the story was so involved, had so many different parts that basically the balance was opposite of this game, where you felt like I felt personally I didn't have enough time to explore the rest of the world or do side missions. I was so focused on the main story just because there were so many different things to do, one thing after the other. So I think a happy medium would be something in between Assassin's Creed 3 and Assassin's Creed 4. And we've already seen entries in the series that I think reach that happy medium. I mean, I think the best game, say, approaches that happy medium, like to be more specific, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Still my favorite game in the series. Probably gets the closest towards that happy medium of critical path, story missions, and side activities. Side story and side missions. That balance there.
Captain's at the helm. Get the main screen.
Alright, so where am I going now? Let's do the assassin target. Suppose I could do this. Well, actually, I don't necessarily need to go there right now because the main mission is nearby, right? So in theory, when I'm doing this quadrant here, I should have time to get this chest. For now, I will go straight after this assassin contract. So I think one thing I just remembered was the fact that my opinion on the game did change slightly as the pacing of the missions did change. It did not stay as slow as I was experiencing throughout the whole thing. Like, the pacing did change. I think that goes towards the importance of finishing a game when you're making your assessment of it. So, I mean, I'm a firm advocate of reviewers finishing games, unless you could make a really good argument to the fact that a game is unreasonably long, that they can't reasonably be expected to finish the game before they need to put up their review. For instance, like a 200 plus hour Japanese RPG. I don't think I could reasonably expect a reviewer to finish that game all the way through, make their review. But something like an Assassin's Creed, which is, I don't know, it's still pretty long by any reasonable standards, 50 to 75 hours or so, especially if you do not use the fast travel. I think a professional reviewer will probably want to use the fast travel a little bit more than I am, because they're on a clock, and I don't blame them for wanting to use that. So For this game, I think I would advocate playing it all the way through, or at least playing to the last half, so that they can experience that shift in the pacing and the narrative, which would definitely change their opinion on the game or impact it negatively or positively. It could even negatively impact it, because one complaint could be that the pacing is inconsistent. The fact that there is a huge... Oh wait, there's an island here. There's a huge slow part after the beginning. Probably not wise to have that sort of pacing happen. And they could have... When the developers of the game could have snipped that up, edited it down a bit. So there's the island. A bunch of sandbars here that I have to go around.
All in the stunts! Stunts up! Let's get moving! Come on, you fire! Join in the fray, Captain! The mortar would be ideal for one reload. Won't miss next time. Ready to fire, sir! Fire! Change goes! We'll move the ground, Captain! Ready to fire, Captain! Let themselves exposed! Take him there, Captain! I can't plant some on there!
Well, I guess I'll get them on the way.
Loose all, let's move! Trim to, build on sails!
Alright, so on this mission, or on this island somewhere, there's a assassin contract. I remember this island. This is where we first were introduced to the Templar Hunt missions. And that's one good set of missions that I wish were a little bit more involved. There were more. I kind of wish there were more of them, and that. Well, for one thing, I wish there were more Templar Hunt missions, because I really did enjoy those while they lasted. Surprisingly few of them. Alright, now I can get to this island.
Get those clues up! Round it all on! Six, trim two!
Yeah, I really do miss those Templar Hunt missions. It feels like ages since I've done one of those Templar Hunt missions. Mission type that I could have used some serious, like could have been interspersed more throughout the experience, more dispersal. Of course, could have had more of them. Period. Real shame that there were so few of them. I guess I don't know. Maybe the developers ran out of resources to take care of those. The dude's here. Come on, out of the bush. I'm only remembering that now because this island was where the first Templar Hunt mission was. This very island here. So many dudes. Holy crap. Let's do this a little bit more patiently. Okay, so two guys talking, that means I should probably go around. Wait a second.
I was just about the yellow dog. You're not for losing us that way, you dog. Ha! On him!
Alright. Thankfully that incident was isolated, so I'm not totally destroyed here. My momentum has not been totally stopped. Still not seeing the target. Ah, I see him now. There he is. And this one's definitely the most involved assassin contract I've seen so far. Sure. Maybe I should just get out of here then. Alright. Assassin contract done. I'm not going to get the bonus for it, but done nonetheless.
Let's catch some wind, lads. I know she's a good sailor. Now prove.
Let's see. I guess now I think I want to do the main mission to end off the stream here. So let's go straight there. I'm right where I want to be as far as the wanted level, so I don't think I'll raise that. Could fight all these ships if I wanted to, but I think I'm okay.
As much sail as you can. Use topsails, gallants, and royals.
I can sink this one. Just waiting.
They're on the bowline to head. Gallants to planks.
Okay. Since I'm not going to be doing much combat on the way, I think the trip there will be fairly quick. Don't have to worry about that. Alright, so yeah, a lot of discussion based on just a few discussion topics, so I'm already winded as far as trying to save this episode. I might keep the discussion a little light from here on out. I'm sure, like, I'm missing something. Like, there's one other thing that I wanted to discuss as well, related to all those topics. You know, now that I'm nearing the end of the game, I can view it in a more from an overall perspective rather than isolated perspective. And should I get this stuff on the way? Save me time later if I do this. Get up. Make a little bit of progress towards this quadrant. No, I did not do the fort just yet. Get on this tree. There we go. I kind of wish I had played games like, or I had replayed some of the previous Assassin's Creed, particularly Brotherhood, because that is the one I keep pointing as my favorite one. And I can bring in more examples from that, or be able to remember more examples from it that point to why I like it so much. You know, I could bring in examples of its pacing, or examples where it brought new things to the table, for instance, throughout the experience. Dispersing new mission types, new experiences throughout the game rather than introducing those things up front. You know, the upside of that is that it keeps the experience fresh for the player. You always see new things to experience. The downside of that is that, you know, each of those mission types, those experiences, require resources that take. Developers have to develop them and test them. And what happens if you know, bring them in later on, the player ends up experiencing them less over the course of the game, and it's like, you don't want to waste resources on developing a mission type that the player will see less. So, you know, the incentive is there for developers to introduce those experiences up front, and then having you repeat those experiences later on. You know, get as much out of those types of experiences, and maybe do some variations on them, you know, as you go through, rather than well, that's actually one of our allies. I think that's actually that's where the mission is, of course. Okay, well, I'm doing this. I only just figured out now that you can, you don't have to re-aim your swivel guns. Now that it's upgraded, I can actually hold it down, hold down the button. It really helps. So much faster.
Ground on every Here it comes! Steady, lads! Brace yourselves! Making some damage here! Get on the ridge! You'll see fire! On your mark, Captain! Grease the topsails and gallants! Unfurl aloft! Man your sheets!
Just gonna sink it. Let's get on with the main mission here.
Ready to fire! They're on the bowline head! All in the sunset! Hold down and fire! Alright, loose main sails! Careful, Captain! Here it comes! Steady, lads! Get off the squall! Keep on that distance and use the fire! Fire! Jack's ready to grapple him, sir! Fire! 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 Ready to ease off the wind!
So much combat. Unexpected.
Enemy fire! Fire! We're ready, sir! Fire! Fire! How do you do that section, sir? Fire! 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 On your mark, Captain! Fire! Fire!
Alright, I think I'll board this ship because I have to repair.
Give me some speed.
Got a little bit too greedy.
How's all but me? Let's see you sink. Get those clues. Pull them down to hell, lads.
Okay.
Keep them up on decks.
Whoa, I don't know why Kenway just refuses, absolutely refuses to. And that was a confusing move. Alright, that's good. Finish up. You know, now that ever since I thought of that, like, sending an ally ship to take down, or to do boarding for you, later on when you rank up, or when you upgrade that ability, that would make, boarding ships and taking their resources much more easier in the later portions of the game. Yeah, repair. Yeah, that would be something I'd want. I want to have ally ships to join you in combat, but then also to have the ability to, instead of doing boarding of ships yourself, you could have the option to send an ally to do the boarding for you, and then you get all the resources from it. At the expense of, say, a reduced rate of success for that boarding. So say you could take a hit of, like, you only have 75% chance of your ally there exceeding the boarding process. The upside is you wouldn't have to do it yourself. I think I definitely take that option. Definitely do it. Oh, I wasted. I only wanted to do one. I accidentally wasted 2 smoke bombs on that. My fault for jamming it. Okay. Quickly repair. Over with. And get that main mission to finish off the... this episode, this stream. Let's do it.
Can you feel it, Addy? We're moments away from the grandest prize of all.
I feel nothing but a hot wind in my ears, Captain.
Come on, man. When we take this treasure, we'll be set for life, all of us. 10 times over.
As you wish.
Ahoy, Roberts! We'll cast anchor and meet ashore.
You were followed, Captain Kenway. How long for, I wonder?
It's Hornigold!
Burn and flay that turncoat.
Deal with your old friend in haste, Captain, before I regret my favor to you.
Alright.
Captain,
State of combat while finding the Hornigold. Okay.
What are you
So this
grousing about, Addy? It's Ben Hornigold, come to kill us out there.
stealth segment
Traitor
before
needs to
a...
die. But what then? Can you say with certainty that you deserve the Observatory more than he and his Templars?
No, I can't, and I don't care to try. But if you've a better idea, by all means, tell me.
Forget working with Roberts. Tell the assassins. Bring them here and let them protect this place.
Aye, I'll bring them here. If they're willing to pay me a good sum for it.
Trim the yards! We'll have a hard fight if Hornigold draws us any deeper into this fog.
probably hide
We're nearing
behind
the
the ship
Devil's
here.
Backbone.
You mean them crags that look like the backbone of
It's
a
turning around this island.
El Espinazo
Better
del
off
Diablo
if I,
in the Spaniard's quarter. Hearty now, my trumps. I'd not haze you. Crowd on every inch of sail.
If I hit it in its wake, essentially. There's the ship. That would have been bad if I spotted.
Surely we are nearing our goal.
Same idea here. Your ship there.
Warship incoming, Captain!
I would say the danger has passed.
Royal Navy! Just the lone ship, Captain!
That was a close one. Got out of its vision cone, essentially. Yeah, this is a tough to navigate this because you kind of have to know how these ships work, essentially.
Douse those gallants. Haul! Haul!
Bearing down on land!
Oh no!
Incoming ship! Guns up! Stone up on the rigging! Colours are English! They're all alone, sir!
Douse the royals! Top! Studs up! Eight out! Let's go!
Why are these ships coming in this direction? That's not what I want. Okay, I think it's turning. I think it's turning.
Hold down and crew up! Get the mainsails into the wind!
Alright, Castaway, let's get out of this vision cone here, please.
I think we're clear, sir.
Someone blowing in! Schooner! Royal Navy!
Shorten sail! Get off the squall! Call them in! Get off the wind!
Set
Get the mainspring!
Okay, I think I can sneak by this one. Should be able to
Crowd it all
go quickly
out.
enough. I needed to go quickly.
Stunsails! Let's ride the squall!
Enemy making for us, sir! Schooner!
I think we've lost
Bloody
them, sir.
Navy! They're all
Alright.
alone, sir!
Furious for the Benjamin. This is really tough. Tougher than I thought. Make my way through here. Especially that bottleneck there. Little ships. Don't want to engage combat, then super difficult to actually
Call in the stunsail!
where is this guy? Is it over that way somewhere? Probably.
Swim us off the wind!
That's not the Benjamin. That's the Benjamin. Okay, that's the Benjamin.
There's Hornigal. Getting close.
Alright, got my optional objective done.
Loose and swim through! Sail off as much sail as you can! Ease the spanker! Hold down! Blew up! Blew up! Pull! More sail! Full sail! We're all
Schooner by the rigging! Colours are English!
We're in close quarters here! Careful you don't run us aground!
Good shot! Ready to fire! Vulnerable there, Captain!
Fire!
We can board and pay rough!
Enemies firing!
Always supposed to take this fire!
Hold her in! Gotta grease the topsails! Got it! Come on, you scrubs! Man the fire! Look, Captain! Put a shot right through there! Off the wind! Back fire! Ready to fire! Come with us! Grab them! Fire! Up!
Alright. I think that's... Oof. Stealth mission was... The stealth portion of it was pretty tough. Just grazed through it. Looks like this is gonna be lead up to the Hornigold encounter with Hornigold. End up assassinating him on this island.
I will be coming back.
Air assassinate him, okay. Alright, so this I think I like. The entire island to work your way through. Ultimate goal. Top of the island there. And you pretty much have free reign to approach as you see fit. Like that's the way I like to approach an assassination mission. Hopefully this guy comes this way. is as good as a... I want to explore this island later. Yeah, I think I will. I'll explore the island later. I'm focused on the mission now. I don't want to be just doing so much exploration. Plenty of time to do that stuff. Am I able to climb this? No. Go around. Not even this? Alright, at least I can climb that. Okay. So I can probably... way. Pretty intense mission. Make sure I try to get as much as I can. Alright, I want to make sure I get as cleanly as I can through it. Treasure chest must be below. And I think I will get those later. Whoa! Oh man. Really don't understand what Kenway, why he would do that. Keep seeing examples of why the platforming can be a little weird sometimes. Just does some nonsensical moves. Just don't understand why he would do that. What I'm not trying to do is just, I guess I'm going that way. If I drop down here. Whoa, Kenway! Oh man! I really don't understand why he would do that. Not what I wanted him to do. I wanted him to just move to the side, he jumps... I wanted to just move to the side, he jumps out. It's completely not what I want, what I told. You know, telling him through the controls. It's in moments like this and really cool missions that the awkward platforming and the awkward parkour, if the game doesn't get that right, that's when, you know, it can totally mess up the experience. Like, this is an otherwise really cool assassination mission being ruined by the shoddy controls. The fact that it's just not that great. Whoa, Kenway, oh my god, I'm trying to get him to drop down. Goes the complete opposite direction, yet again. If I was hitting left, he goes right. Alright, so
I know this bastard, and I've seen what he can do.
air assassinate.
He'll be after me, sure as I'm standing here. Hold your ground, and be ready for anything.
There we go. That is the objective. All right. Whew. Touch and go.
For something, but you've a killer's heart now, with nothing but metal to show for all your blunders.
Damn sight better than you, Ben. The heart of a traitor who thinks himself better than his mates.
Aye, and proven true. What have you done since Nassau fell, huh? Nothing but murder and mayhem.
You threw in with the very kind we once hated!
No! These Templars are different. I wish you could see that. But if you continue on your present course, you'll find you're the only one walking it. With the gallows at its end.
It may be. But now the world has one less snake in it. And that's enough for me.
All right. Yep, definitely like this mission a lot. Great use of stealth, and use of great open level design as far as, okay, your target's up top. Obviously, he's going to be up top, and you just have to get there somehow. Choose whatever path you want, and I think the strength of the level design, like it's a mission that rests on the strength of the level design, and I think it holds up very well. And I, like making my path through there. The only downside of that was it reveals very, very easily how poor and awkward the parkour is in this game. Unfortunate that for some reason the parkour and the platforming controls are just not as good as they were in previous Assassin's Creed games. There's something off about it. I feel like he's just not listening to my controls, not going in the direction I'm telling him to go. Where, I can point to previous Assassin's Creed games that were much tighter, felt like I could rely on the game to get me where I need to go. Alright, so mission is done. I think the first thing I could be doing this segment, or the next stream, is probably finishing up this island here, getting all the things. But for now, I think I'll call it a stream, ending on a really great mission, one of my favorite assassination missions so far, the way it's designed. And yeah, I'll just wrap things up right now. Then I will. If you want to watch the archives of my playthrough of Assassin's Creed 4 up until now, you can watch them on youtube.com/YamsterSam. That's my channel. And also follow me at YamsterSam to know when I go live. Great way to know when I go live on Twitch. And also, you could find out when I go live by following me directly on Twitch as well, which is twitch.tv/YamsterSam. All the same username. So you can follow me on all of them if you prefer. And with that, I think I will call it a stream, and next time we will start right here on this island, getting all the various collectibles here. Quickly show where the next main mission is. Alright, heads back to this area here. Alright. Observatory. So if this one's named the Observatory, and Kenway also indicated that they were really close to the end here, then I think I want to get all side quests out of the way. Before I do that, I think this is the final mission. I want to say this is probably highly likely that it's the final mission. So I think next stream I'll also work on this quadrant here. Do all that stuff, get this thing. Hopefully this starts up again. I don't know this wherever this main mission is. So, yep. Looks like we're very near the end here. So, look forward to that in the next episode, the next time. I will see you later.